Tigers talk. We are actually for the very first time live here in our media room here at Totally Workwear Stadium, Gav. They give us the key to the building and we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, but if the door closes on you, mate, you can't get back in, so that's a problem.
Exactly right. It is a problem to get out of here. We're going to mix it up a little bit this week in Tigers talk. We're going to have some coaches, so we've got a few to talk to.
Yeah, we do indeed. All three grades, actually, I think we've got coming along, so should be good.
Yep, so we've got Matthew Head, Jamie Feeney, we've got Mark Gliddon for the first time, the little fella there, so you can't wait for that one. We've got a couple of players, so we've got Dredin Sorensen, we've got Simon Pratt from the Colts as well. We've obviously got a plethora of stars here. Tigers talk, sit back and enjoy. It's going to be an absolute ripper here live from Media Central.
Welcome back to Tigers Talk. We're just going to go down now to our inaugural interviewee in the brand new grandstand here at Totally Workwear Stadium. We've got Jamie Feeney joining us. Jamie, defensive coach. How are you, mate?
Yeah, going well. Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be the Virgin interviewee in the new stadium. It looks great, and really looking forward to it getting completed. And our boys, I think we'll see their levels raised once they've got a home that they're really proud of.
Well, yeah, mate. Yeah. Defensive coach, mate. Yourself with Matthew Church. So it's all new streamlined here for the Brisbane Tigers this year. How have you settled in here at Totally Workwear?
Yeah, I've loved it. So I guess my background, the last six or so years, I've been coaching in the women's game more so than the men. So sort of was part of the NRLW start and the team that got the NRLW started years back. And then, to be honest with you, I worked full time in that game for a little while. And then once COVID hit, I jumped across and was doing a little bit of boys and girls stuff at school, and then. Mate, I just love being back here in the men's game and working with the guys that are aspirational to make it into the NRL, and with my experience, hopefully I can get a few of them up there.
How did you get that opportunity, mate, to get to the Tigers? What was the process for getting you over here?
Oh well, Churchy gave me a call after he got the role, but mate, I'm a ex-Storm player as well, so that helps. I'm helping run the academy out of Melbourne Storm Academy, out of the Brisbane area anyway, and Brisbane and Gold Coast area. So I've already got that link with the club again. So mate, he needed a kind of that Storm person back here, and because I've played there and I also coached under Craig years and years ago, that I've got that background knowledge of that system, and that's what I'm trying to teach these boys.
Week in, week out, Jamie, it's a tough competition, isn't it? It seems to be getting tougher and tougher every year. No side's an easy one. So defensively, we always talk about defence-winning matches. You got a pretty big role in this department, mate. How have you liked that challenge?
Yeah, it has been challenging. I mean, the way we've been playing, we've been handing a lot of footy over, so we've had to do a lot of defence, and we've had a couple of score lines there. I think, take away round one, that was a washout game, and then we had a couple of really high score lines with against Wynnum and PNG. So, I mean, defensively, we weren't great over those first couple, and I guess they were just trying to earn or sort of learn how we wanted to defend and how we defend as a team. So we found ways to still win against PNG, and then we've had a really good win against Ipswich, and then the win on the weekend against the Cutters. So defensively, we've still got work to do, which is great. And they're slowly learning, and I guess getting the boys back on a Friday night, and sometimes, only for half an hour a week, the boys back from Melbourne to join in, it becomes a little bit clunky at times, and they've really got to find their feet together as a team, and I think it's going to take us a little while, but we're winning games, and I think both our attack and defence will start to gel once we get a few more games in and a few more wins up, and we start to earn the right to play with the footy, and also we keep our defence really tight.
Yeah, mate, taking into consideration what you mentioned about the Storm players coming back, the Queensland Cup tends to be a bit more of an open game anyway, and the scores tend to be a bit higher. So if you can be a good defensive side, that's a massive advantage.
Yeah, it is, and to be honest with you, I guess when I first started here, how some of the boys have been coached over the years to how I sort of coached, and had a kind of a hit first mentality rather than control the ball first mentality. That it took us a long time to change that, and I think that's the way the game. It's probably the way the game is viewed. But if we have a look at some of the best tackles across the Q Cup or the NRL even, people always talk about the shots that people put on, and if you talk about the ones from Olakau'atu on the weekend on Justin Olam, he snapped him in half, and that's what we're trying to teach these boys. And it's not necessarily, I think the game's changed a little bit where going away from just controlling the ball. So, to lock up the footy and second phase play to actually hitting and stopping that person on the spot, and then hoping that free flowing, you stop that free flowing footy and that second phase footy doing that, we've been trying that really hard here, and hopefully we'll grab that, by at least halfway through the year, and most people will start to grab hold of that and run with that in terms of their defensive style. And if we can do that, we're really strong defensively. We haven't even begun to start teaching them a lot about our attack yet, so that's Churchy's role, and I'm sure once we start to run that out on the field, we'll have more success.
Mate, you've got the Clydesdales this weekend. Mate, unknown quantity. You've got a little bit of footage on them, but they're boys from the bush. They're big, hard, and they'll come straight at you nice and big. I suppose the thing you've got to worry about is not overcommitting to the tackle, because they can do some damage out wide. So how do you communicate that to the players not to overcommit but still get the tackle done?
Oh, mate, I think it's a hit first mentality and trying to stop the play with the ball first before they start to and controlling the ruck. So we get numbers in there, we get hip control, we slow the ball, play the balls down so they, effectively out wide. We've got a forward defensive line that's willing to move up, not a static or retreating defensive line, so that they've got space to throw the ball around us and run around us if they try that. But first, it's got to be hitting first, and then trying to lock that footy up, and then second, if we can do that and we can control the ruck, again we can have our outside backs getting up really hard and having good line speed, so we can attempt to try and send them back into the middle, where our numbers will come from and our numbers are, or try and stop them from trying to get around us if that's the way they're going to play. So we'll do a lot of homework on them, and they're coming off a really good win, a tough start, but then a really good win and a really good finish against Ipswich on the weekend. So, mate, we'll get them fairly confident, I'd say, and then it's up to us to take the confidence out of them through our contact and our communication in defence.
Sounds like you've got a pretty big job ahead of you, mate.
Yeah, we do.
And the early steps are very promising by the look of it. Very happy with being at the club, and thanks for joining us this afternoon here on Tigers Talk.
Pleasure, boys. Thanks for having me on.
And I think it's a great initiative actually to bring an end loader to training as well, mate, just to get those boys into the trenches and taking on a Kubota tractor, mate. That's genius.
Yes. Well, I think some of these boys would even, or some of them are tough enough to take on that tractor. So let's see how we go.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, mate.
There you go. Not an easy job, is it, a defensive coach against a different opposition every week? And as you said, it's not a structured play in the host class level as there is in NRL. You've got a fair idea what they're doing, but that little ad-lib footy makes it a little bit more trickier for a defensive coach.
Yeah, look, it does. I mean, it's still, defence is defence. You still get up in your line. The basics are still all the same. It's changed a lot over the years, obviously, to where it is now. And but yeah, look, he's doing a very good job. A couple of higher scores, as Jamie mentioned earlier in the season. But, I think 14, 16 points on the weekend was a very good indication of the progress that they've made.
Yeah, communication is key with your outside man, isn't it, basically?
Yeah. Yep,
and trust as well.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back with more of Tigers Talk very soon. Tiger Talk, and this guy's got some pull. This is the second time he's been on Tiger Talk. It's our head coach, the Brisbane Tigers, Matty Church. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, good. Thanks, John. Yourself?
Good, mate. Home this weekend, totally Workwear Stadium. It's starting to come together, as are the Tigers. You're sitting in the top 8 at the moment, up against the Clydesdales. Spoke to Jamie Feeney about this. They're an unknown quantity to a degree. How are you looking forward to this clash here at home?
Yeah, look, we're looking forward to playing against the Clydesdales. They had a great win on the weekend, and they'll be brimming with confidence as they come into this match. But, we probably weren't as happy as our performance last weekend. So looking to rectify that, and I know the players want to put in a good performance.
Do you know much about them, Churchy? Have you had any time? I mean, I know it's early in the week and you'll do your research as you go, but do you know much about them from talking to other people that have played against them or anything at this stage?
Oh, look, I know a fair bit about it, Payne. A lot of the guys have played around the Queensland Cup, you know, and if you spend time in that, you get to know who's who in the zoo. And yeah, so I know a bit about their forward pack, and that's probably what they rely on heavily is that forward pack. They've got some really good go forward with Darren Schonig and a couple of really good edge back rowers that that run hard lines. And I have watched their film from the weekend, so I do know that they go to their centres. Bessie, who left the Tigers last year, was fairly prominent on the weekend, and they've got their left centres. He's a big unit, and he moves really quickly. So we're going to have to be mindful of those guys.
Covers last week, mate. You had to go the distance, didn't you, to put them away? They kept coming at you. Don't worry about where they are on the ladder. They scored first. Obviously, it was a bit of a soft try on their part. I suppose that was a bit of a kick in the backside for the Tigers to lift and knew they were in a contest against a very determined side from Mackay.
Yeah, look, Mackay, I spoke to their coach, Michael Comerford, before the match, an old teammate of mine, and they haven't been far away in the last few weeks. They obviously didn't put in a good performance in round one against Wynnum, but they've been getting better each week, and we were keen not to be their first scalp, and thankfully we weren't. But all hell broke loose on the weekend. Not often you lose both your wingers, your halfback, in the space of or just after half time, sorry, and then Corey got 10 in the bin, so it was mayhem. And one of the coaches asked me how we were going to reshuffle and who was going to go to fullback, and it took me about 2 minutes to answer because I just didn't have any other options on the bench or what you can do, because you don't generally cover those positions, I guess, on your bench. But proud of the boys. They put in a brave effort, and we managed to defend strongly, especially in that 10 minutes while Corey was off. I think they scored a try just before the 10 minutes was up, so we scrambled really, really well, and that D kept us in the game and got us the win in the end.
Season started well, Matt, obviously with a few wins after a bit of a hiccup at the start when you had the washed out game and then a narrow loss. So with a completely new squad almost, they've brought a whole lot of players in. I was talking to Shane Richardson about that on Saturday night. How have you managed to gel those players into the unit, and what more have you got to do to get them to where you want them to be?
Yeah, I think that's really important to highlight. The start of the year, we didn't get round one, so we missed that. Well, we got 8 minutes in, but not really a performance. And I think when in round 4, when we played Ipswich, we debuted our 17th player to the club, which is obviously a huge turnover in numbers, and a lot of those Melbourne guys we didn't see in the pre-season. So it was all about building relationships, and I think that's why the first couple of games we had higher scores put on us, because we're defending well as individuals. I think we were second or third or above in the key statistics like missed tackles and ineffective tackles. But when you defend as a unit, that comes down to relationships and building them. And we're only going to get that through repetition and playing together and training together. So.
All right, mate. Easter break. Players obviously went away and had a bit of a break. Yourself, mate, did you get a chance to go away and gorge on some chocolate or anything like that? Did you get away from footy with the fam?
It was very important for me to get away from from Langlands Park. There's been a lot going on with a trade background. If there's something that needs done, you're the first point of call. But I laughed with the wife on the Thursday before Good Friday. This was going to be my first day off in probably about a month, having to travel over to PNG, and so I just enjoyed some time with my family and my wife, and certainly enjoyed some sleep-ins and getting away from footy. And we encourage the boys to do the same. We know that we spend a lot of time together. We ask a lot of them to turn up after work, and we put in a strong pre-season, a very, very tough pre-season in my opinion, and it was a good opportunity for them to spend some time with family.
Well, the tough pre-season, mate, looks like it's standing in good stead at the moment. Any truth to the rumour you threw the tool bell on to do a bit of cleaning up around here as extracurricular activity?
I was asked to throw the tool belt on, Payne. I wouldn't say that I just volunteered to put it on, but yeah, there's some handrails in the new stadium that they're erected by me, and there's some TVs and stuff to go into the new offices and office spaces, and we're all keen to get into them, and it's going to be a fantastic facility. And yeah, I guess that's the nature of being 20 years in the trade, that you can do those things, and I'm pretty particular with how I like stuff, so I don't mind doing those things by myself too, especially when we get to set up this dressing room the way that I want it set up. It'll be pretty much that. I'll stay away from building the lockers, but outside of that, the TV will go where I want it to go. And it's a good trade to have, and hopefully I never have to go back to be on the tools. Hopefully I can continue on, because the whistle's a lot lighter than a tool belt, Payne.
All right, mate. Well, yeah, we've got a lock up here. So we can't get out of here. So if you can come up here and let us out, that'd be very handy. You don't need to know it well. Just bring Bennett Leslie with you. Hey, mate, listen, good luck on the weekend. Totally Workwear Stadium. Should be an absolute crackerjack game against the Clydesdales. And it'll be interesting to see what they bring down from Toowoomba 1 at a Clydesdale. I'd rather tackle it than that backhoe that's down there. But anyway, so there you go.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. We're looking forward to putting in a better performance. But thanks for having me on, guys.
There you go. There's
Thanks,
Matty Church, been on twice. You can't get him off, but he'll be back again next week probably, but see how he goes. But the game against Mackay Cullers last week, they scored first. It was a soft try. I think that's probably something that sort of kicks them up a little bit. And then and they scored right at the end, and the game wasn't over until obviously the whistle went.
Yeah, look, it sort of shows a bit of character for the club as well. It's easy to be front runners and winning from in front all the time, but it's not so easy at different times to come from behind. So it showed a bit of character. In the end, Matt mentioned that he wasn't completely satisfied with the result. Nor would he be with the performance, I should say, not the result. Happy with the result, but nor should he be. It's early in the season, as I mentioned. We've got a whole lot of new staff in there, new players and so forth. So it will develop and get better as the weeks and months roll on. But you can do no better than a good start, and they've had a good start.
Back soon.
Welcome back to Tigers Talk. We are now going to have a chat with Colts coach Mark Gliddon. First match of the season coming up. How's the pre-season been?
To be fair, it's been quite challenging due to the fact that our comp's starting a bit later this year. We're probably 5 games into the Queensland Cup, or I should say the Hostplus Cup these days, season, and we're playing our first game. So it's been pretty challenging. It's been hard to keep the boys up, but we're starting to slowly look like a football team, and certainly looking forward to this weekend against the Clydesdales here in the wonderful Langlands Park.
Have any of the Colts players been called to sit on the bench or anything in the first few rounds, Gliddon, or have we got a fresh squad?
No, fresh squad. Like most of the Cup boys are going pretty good at the moment. Actually, they got a couple injuries on the weekend, but the Cup's going well, so they probably won't need us at this stage. But as the season goes on, hopefully some of my guys get an opportunity to play up in Cup.
Gliddon, how did you keep them motivated and their mind on the job for such a long pre-season? I mean, that's 4 or 5 months. You would have started, probably 6 weeks before Christmas as well. So tough job. Yeah,
it was actually about 4 weeks before Christmas, and we put it back a couple of weeks. It wasn't been easy, but we've tried to make it as fun as possible. Con games and them sort of things. Just keeping them up, and the odd time we may train on a Monday and a Wednesday, and then give them the Friday off or whatever it may be. But as we've got a bit closer to the season, there's been a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and you can see in the boys' eyes that they're looking forward to this weekend. So, and I certainly am too. So, and the rest of the staff is can't wait.
Unlike Hostplus Cup, who this is the first time they'll take on the Clyde. So you've played them last year in the Hastings Deering's Colts competition, Gliddon. You got a few players coming back from last year, which is great to see. Obviously, they're fronting up again. A lot of experience they would have taken on the Clydesdales. But as you know, it's not an easy task against the big units from up on the hill.
No, look, the big tough country boys, they struggled a bit last year. To be fair, we played them round 1 last year as well in Toowoomba, and they give us a real run for their money. Yeah. And I actually remember commenting to Rexy Zeman after the game, you guys will win some footy games this year. And they got a few injuries and so forth, and it just didn't quite work out for them. But we certainly won't be taking them lightly. To me, it's a worry. It's always a worry when you play in a side that, playing a side that people think you're going to beat. We'd like, to my thoughts are we probably need to be at our best this weekend to get the chockies.
How do you combat that potential complacency, mate, that might be there? I mean, it's the first game. Everybody obviously should be keen and up for it and ready to go, but complacency can sleep in later in the season.
Oh, I certainly can. He just got to keep an eye on it at training. To be fair, I haven't seen it at this stage of our training. We're doing an opposed session against Cup tonight, but I think it'll get us up a little bit. I'll know in the first 5 minutes of our game we're working placement and not to be in our kick chase, in our line speed, just in the little things that require effort or require running. If we're a bit off there, I know straight away that we're a bit off. So. Whether we can fix it quickly, who knows? But time will tell.
Interesting you said that, Gliddon, about you having a run against the Cup side. Now their Colts side has the opportunity to run against their Cup side as well. So it's certainly going to lift them and they'll have a lot more punch to their game. And I think on a few occasions last year, we started slowly in games. Obviously, in this instance, though, it's the first game. You need to actually rein it in so they don't come out at a million miles an hour and still have some juice at the back end.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think if we get out there and play smart footy, not dumb footy, and don't play into their hands, probably taking them on at the middle is probably not where we need to take them on. As I said, they'd be big country boys. So at the end of the day, as long as we get out there with the right attitudes and the effort areas are right and we complete our sets and keep the footy off them, the old cliche of completing your sets, I'd probably go back to our last trial against South Logan. We completed at 47% in the first half, was horrible, and we led 6-4. In the second half, we completed at 75%. We won the game by 38 points. So we can hang on to the footy where we give ourselves half a chance.
Yeah, you give yourself more than half a chance, mate. That's the name of the game these days, isn't it? Just controlling that football with the possession every week.
Yeah, a great man once told me that you score more points than the other team, you win.
Yes, very true. John, you're a genius.
You've got coaching material written all over you, John.
Oh, I learned from the best. Hey, listen, how many guys you got fronting up from last year's squad coming out this weekend at Totally Workwear?
In the 17, we've probably got about 12. Yep. But in saying that, some of the players from last year have only played 1 or 2 games over the course of the season. Some have played none. They were in the squad last year, but they didn't quite make it. So we've had to recruit a little bit, bring a couple up from our 18s, from our Malmaninga squad. But all in all, I think we've got a pretty strong squad. They're a good bunch of kids. I've enjoyed their company. Hopefully they've enjoyed mine. Still got a long way to go. But I think our strength will be our middle, our forward pack. We got some... In previous years, we probably haven't had a great deal of depth in the middle, but I think this year we're looking pretty strong in the middles. There's probably, a pretty smart man once told me that to win a comp, you need eight middles to win a comp. He said 2 starting. I think I've told you this, John. 2 starting, 2 on the bench, 2 suspended.
And 2 playing Reggies.
And 2 injured.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's so true. It is so true. Hey, 11 o'clock game on the weekend too. Luckily it's a little bit cooler. That's probably a good thing that they haven't got to wait longer in the day. Get them out there, get them done and get it done. Yeah,
due to the fact that the Malmaninga final's on here, they popped us early, but probably suits a little bit, to be fair. Toowoomba have got a long way to come, so, they're probably going to have to up nice and early and get on a bus and in a 2-hour bus trip, so our blokes can sleep in a little bit. And so it probably gives us a slight advantage in that area. And it's Anzac Day, so we've got Jordan Panquit, one of my players' father, coming in who's toured Afghanistan on 3 occasions. I think he's going to come in and have a word to the boys about the importance of Anzac Day. And I've also got one of Payne's old sparring partners, Greg Street, coming in, who's an ex-East player here from the 91 side, to hand our debutants their jersey. There's 5 this week that debuting for the club, so it should be good.
All right, Glenn, you obviously have, this is your 4th year now here with the Tigers?
Third.
Third year. Getting any easier, mate, the pre-season?
This one's certainly been long and tedious, but as we spoke about
like your
earlier,
conversations.
Well, 100%, John. I do speak a bit of gibber at times, but no. Look, I love footy and I love coaching. The hard part starts now. The win-loss ratio starts. We haven't had that, so the pressure's on. It's a result-driven game, so at the end of the day, if you don't win games, Torps is coming over and firing a bullet. So you get on with it.
Mate, you're made of steel, mate. Anything he throws you is going to bounce off, mate. You're strong, but it is a credit to you. You obviously coaching senior level for a long, long time. Then you come back to do the Colts. It's not an easy job because there's cars, there's girls, there's pimples, there's apprenticeships. Some are still at school, so it's not an easy job for you, Gliddon. So well done for sticking to it. And in your 3rd year, hopefully you go a little bit deeper than last year, but you're still loving your football, and I'm still loving you too, mate. As much as,
that means a lot to me, John.
Yeah, I've got a little Mark Gliddon doll hangs from my, might actually be you hanging from a windscreen. But anyway, so good luck on the weekend, 11 o'clock.
I'll just let you two make your own arrangements. 11 o'clock it is, mate. All the best for the weekend, Gliddo, as well. You know,
appreciate it, guys.
At the new stadium as well. So hopefully the boys are right up for it.
Should be great. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Get the one under the belt. First hand on the footy. They just got to get out there against the Clydesdales. Like I said, they'll have a post session with a cup side, which they haven't had done in the past here. But Gliddo's right. You've got to be a little bit nervous about that because they'll have a lot of enthusiasm coming up from the boys from the hill, and they're big boys. You know, they will to be, you know, with their hands and feet. They're just animals, so they'll be great.
Yeah, look, it will be. It'll be a top clash. You know, the Tigers obviously will want to go out and put their mark on the game and on the comp to start with as well, and make a good impression early on to sort of, you know, send a warning to the other teams.
And the other plus side is obviously the cup side can come and actually watch the whole game to a degree before they go in the sheds at half time. So it'd be great to have the cup boys down. 11 o'clock here, totally Workwear Stadium. You'll see the mighty Colts taking on the Clydesdales. It should be an absolute beauty. So get down here and enjoy a great day of footy. It all starts here at Totally Workwear Stadium. Back soon.
Back again and joined now by Leivaha Pulu. Leivaha, first year at the club, I believe. So how have you found it sort of settling in?
Yeah, it's been a welcoming transition, I guess, coming over here to the Tigers. When I got approached by Churchy to come over and the opportunity to come and work with young fellas, it's I grabbed it with two hands, and it's been unreal.
Tell us about your background. How did you get to the Tigers before Churchy rang you, mate? Where you been playing your footy?
So I spent my last 2 years at North Devils, and before that I was in New Zealand. So I was contracted to the Warriors, and before that I was at the Titans. So I'm a bit of a journeyman. So I've been around all over the place, and
Was the approach from Matt Church? Did you know Churchy from previous encounters?
Nah, so what happened was Mearsy got him, Jack Mears got a hold of me, and it was just like, man, there's if there's an opportunity here, and Churchy wants to have a chat, and I said, yes, look, I'm open to it, and and then next thing you know, it was a done deal.
Yeah, so you're both new to the club, as obviously Jamie Feeney and a few other players as well. So it's all new, a brand new stadium as well. I do believe they built it. That was the reason to get you here. If you come, we'll build you a new stadium. So they've done, mate. So you've got to step up, mate. Tell us about your positions. Where have you played?
Yeah, so I've played all over the place. I guess I'm a bit of a utility player, but at the moment I'm playing back row.
Yep.
It's something that I'm familiar with, and it's something that I do week in, week out.
Mate, obviously coming from the North Devils, you've had a lot of success over there over the last few years as well. So how is that? How do you intend to try and use that, I suppose, to impart that knowledge and that experience onto the younger players here at the Tigers?
Yeah, as I said, I've been really fortunate and lucky enough to get some championships at North Devils, and for me to come over here, it's just, as I said before, it's just a new challenge, exciting times. I get to work with new players, kind of get out of my comfort zone. So just to come through and just be able to just share knowledge with the younger generation that is coming through, and just help out wherever I can, and just help out, just with the mistakes that I've done in the past, and just reach out to them and just be able to be there for them.
The Cutters game last weekend, mate. It was an extraordinary game of rugby league. Obviously, a couple of soft tries, a couple of tries off kicks, as we always expect in the game these days. Have you got a kick in you, mate? Have you got a kick chase? Yeah, a little chip kick in the middle of the park you can pull off now and again?
I'd like to say I have one of those.
Churchy's listening, mate. So this is a chance for you to actually campaign your chip chase game.
Yeah, I'll try my hand at it, man.
I wouldn't do it during the game, just saying before you ask. But
I'm one of those dudes, man. Bro. I like to back myself. So for me, is if I back myself, and if it doesn't work off, it doesn't work off. At least I'm not going to finish the game thinking, man, what if? So if it happened, if it arose, then I'll give it a crack. And hey, anything can happen.
You mentioned Jack Mears before, mate. He to me he looks like he's a bit of a nuisance from having some dealings with him. How have you found him?
I've known Jack for a couple of years now, and I'm pretty mutual with him. He's a good bloke. I've known him at North, and sometimes he can come across as one one of those. I guess the pest in the team, but I think that's just his personality.
Hang on a second. You've got a contender. Either maybe it's yourself as a bit of a pest, but Tristan Hope. Now, there's a different level of pest there. But in all honesty, he's come to the Tigers. He's fresh as you are. You would have known him obviously in the past when he's played for the Seagulls. But mate, you hang around him. You go off his left or right hand shoulder. You've got a great opportunity because he can put players into a gap. Have you noticed that he's a very talented footballer when he's got the ball in hand and he runs with it? Yeah. So it's something that I'm working with as well, especially as a back rower, just trying to try to get some combinations, especially being new at the club with all of us. And I guess it's the exciting time of the year where, we get to come together and just try and put things on before the juicy part of the season. So it's something that we're trying to work towards is trying to build a good combination, and hopefully maybe later down the track, September footy or something where, he'll be putting me in for more meat pies. Have you got one yet? Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to get one. So you're off the nudie? Wow. Yeah. So I've been really lucky.
Mate, so obviously the combinations will take some time to work on. They look like they're sort of going okay at the moment. Obviously, there's more work that you can do on those. How do you like to play the game? Who do you like to run off? Like, you're getting off Mearsy a bit, off Tristan a bit, or you're out a bit wider off the 5, 8 and half and that? Yeah, for me, I'm really lucky and fortunate enough that Jaxie's here, and he's got experience, and he knows how to play the game, and his footy smart's quite up there. So I've been really fortunate enough to have him inside me, feeding me the ball early, or just at the line, or just knowing how to play the game a bit more. But yeah, as you said before, it's a pretty fairly new team, so it's this time of the year where we're just building combinations, and it's not going to be the perfect footy, but as long as we're getting those wins, and just continue to build. Are you happy with your form so far, mate? I know it's only early stages in a new club. Are there parts of your game you'd like to try and work on a little bit harder this weekend, or a little bit differently? Yeah, as I said before, it's just one of those. It's still in the beginning of the season, so I'm still trying to perfect my game in a way where I'd like to be, I guess, just probably the most dominant back row on my side. That's how I play my game as power forward. But in saying that, it's still building. It's still early in the season, and I just got to stay healthy. Just stay injury free, and just keep moving forward. There seems to be some good experience in the side as well. You mentioned that you're on the early 30s and so forth. You got Corey Thompson and the like there. You mentioned Jaxie before as well. So, and then there's some younger players that are sort of coming in and just really beginning their careers, I suppose, or in the early stages of their careers. That looks like it's going to be a successful formula. Yeah, as I said, man, we've been lucky enough to get a bit of a good mix of both. We've got dudes who are 19, 18, 20, 21, and then you got us on the later scale of 30, 31, 33. So, as I said before, it's just coming together and being able to share our knowledge onto the younger generation, and something that they can hopefully, take with both hands and run with it, and, progress in their career, or just get a couple of championships in Queensland Cup. Just and it's, obviously your age, you're probably in bed by 8:30 these days now, aren't you, mate? Up at 4 o'clock, getting the paper and walking the dog and all that sort of stuff, putting the slippers on and making a nice cup of tea or something like that. Tell us about your game day ritual. How much has it changed over the years? Are you got away from the bacon and eggs to probably something a little bit more healthy, or what's game day for you, mate? Game day for me is what I like to do is I'll wake up, I'll have a coffee with my family. Sometimes we'll sit together and we'll go through some praise and worship together. And we'll just come together and we'll just chill. Maybe sometimes I'll take the kids to the park, go for a walk, or watch a movie. And then if I can fit in a nap at 12 o'clock or so, if it's a late game, man, shut the gate. I'll just have a snooze and just come into the game, just calm, ready, and just turn it on when the whistle blows. All right. And do you ever come home with all the kids or one missing? Oh, man, as I said, I've been really lucky. My wife's been really awesome. So she's really supported me in my career the last 14, 13 years. So she's been carrying me. So
I've been fortunate enough to take all my kids home with me.
Yeah, but that's not she wants you to leave a couple at the park. That's what I'm saying, mate. Just give her a bit of a break. But it's a very important point you make, actually, what the wives put into it and the partners. It's certainly a big effort on their part, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
All right, mate. We'll let you go, and listen, all the best on the weekend. Hopefully, another try. You just can't stop now because I think it might be an 8-game rule. If you don't score after 8, it goes back to the 0, and the nudie runs back on the card. So just be careful on that one. But welcome to the Tigers, mate, and all the best in this weekend against the Clydesdales, and hopefully bring home the biscuits again.
All right, then. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
See you, gentlemen.
Bye. Yeah, big important part is if you've got support at home. You talk about the support here in the place, but if you've got support from home, you enjoy doing your footy. I know, sometimes we roll the eyes, not another game of footy, or sometimes you play 2 games on the weekend, and it's really tough on the family. But, they're a big part, aren't they?
Mate, it's so essential, and it would have been the case with Liverpool as well, in that, basically you're not home during the course of the week. You train 3 or 4 nights a week, you've got the game, you're very busy in and around the game. So, for instance, my family, my wife basically brought my 4 children up until you retire at an earlier age, and that's just the way it is.
Most every we think of time for the girlfriends and the wives and the mothers and all that sort of stuff, along with our volunteers. We'll be back with more of Tigers Talk here. It's been a great show so far. Stay tuned. All right. Probably the best looking, maybe the second best looking player in the club here behind, obviously, Bennett Leslie is Dredin Sorensen. He's best looking back, of course, mate. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yourself?
Good. Hey, listen, have you enjoyed your time here at the Tigers, mate? It's been a bit of a stop-start, obviously, with Easter as well. But in saying that, you probably don't mind having that weekend off because it's such a cutthroat competition, as you've known over the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to, dial back and have a week off and, just spend time with your loved ones. You spend most of your time here, you don't realise, around the boys and stuff. So, yeah, no, definitely it was good to have the week off and sort of mellow down before we have to get back into it.
Did you get away for the weekend, mate, anywhere? Did you do anything special? Treat the missus to a slap-up meal or something?
Let me think. No, actually, it was my birthday on that Good Friday anyway. So we had like a birthday weekend because my missus' birthday is like 3 days before mine. So, yeah, we just sort of just ate a lot. And, that's it. Didn't really do much. Just trying to like I said, mellow down, and, just enjoy our time together.
Colts competition starts this weekend as well. So now if there's some injuries and alike, obviously there's some Colts players that will come up here. You're a young player. You play in the Colts system as well. Yourself, mate, a little bit of pressure to keep performing because, as we know, with the Storm as well and with the Colts players, you've really got to step up every week. It doesn't get any easier this weekend against the Clydesdales.
Yeah, definitely. You got to treat every game like it's your last. You can't sort of be complacent and whatnot. Basically you just got to keep performing, and just sort of stay at your peak, I guess. Otherwise, someone else is going to be knocking down that door, and you could lose that opportunity.
And how did you find the long pre-season playing in the seniors?
Yeah, it was good. At any club, pre-season's going to be hard. 6 weeks pre-Christmas, 6 weeks after. It was just, it started off hard. And I guess that's good. Instead of building into it, we all just started hard to see where we're at and just sort of kept that. And then it kind of dropped off towards the end, which was good. Definitely after that preseason, I feel a lot fitter and ready to go, which was, a dub, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I've seen you over the years as well, mate. You're probably looking the fittest you've been for a long, long time. And this is not the first time I've spoken to players who've come to the Tigers. And I'm not saying the different pre-seasons are any less, but Mitchell Butler's another one. I spoke about a couple of the girls who've come over here. So the pre-season has been tough, but you guys are looking really, really fit. And as Gav said in other interviews with some of the players, especially with the Colts, it's a long season, so you got to really have to be fit, but also you got to manage yourself as well.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, like pre-season coming here, like it was tough from the get-go, which is good because it kind of helped our mentality sort of thing to like just keep pushing, find a way, stuff like that. But yeah, also you got to look after yourself outside of footy as well. Like, do your recovery when you can. Otherwise, it's not good for the body. Well,
if you want any tips, mate, on what not to do, this guy here, stuff like that. Have you changed the way you approach football? I'm not saying you're getting older, mate. Have you changed the way you come to a game on game day?
No, it's sort of the same. Have my my routine that I do. You know, try to go to bed early the night before. Have my breakfast. Sort of just play some good music to get into the rhythm of it. Still been the same. Yeah, nothing's really changed.
Yeah, mate. So, good start to the season. Obviously, with the new combinations that are still developing. How are you going with those combinations and getting to understand how the players that you're playing with play their game?
Yeah, it was definitely different for me, especially coming from a new club, seeing how everyone was, especially like my edge and perspective, I guess. Seeing how my outside winger would do his job, or how my inside, like my half, would do his job, and then like it was kind of hard at first. It was a bit rocky, but then after a few games and stuff like that, you sort of get the gist and feel of them, and it just makes your job easier.
Yep.
Now, you've obviously got to play the full 80 minutes because that doesn't get any tougher, any easier every year. Tristan Hope obviously comes over from the Seagulls as well. You've got a bit of time with him. So have you two renewed friendships and between the two of you, do they separate you on the bus? Are you two not allowed to congregate together because you're just a menace, or what's the go there?
Oh, nah, I think we're still in and around the same. We try bring our to the other boys and stuff and whatnot. But Hopey has sort of brought over some new rules, I guess you could say, that we do at Wynnum. And it's good because it keeps everyone on your toes. Like, it's like Funky Sock Friday. And if you don't wear that, you have to walk the line, like certain stuff like that. And it just brings culture to the team. And I think, he's done a very good job of doing that.
He's anything under himself is Tristan Hope. I remember asking him what would he be the best merchandise? He said he would be Hope soap on a rope or something like that. So there you go. That's what he's like. But look, mate, all the best this week. Gav, you all good to go?
Yeah.
This weekend.
Cool. Thank you.
All the best, Clydesdales. You probably would never have played against the Toowoomba side at all. I don't think you would have played them in Colts either back in the day.
No, we had them in Colts.
Did you have them in Colts back then?
Yeah, we had them in Colts, yeah.
All right, good on you. So you'll know a little bit about them. You might actually come up against some boys you've played against before. So all the best, mate, and go the Tigers.
Cool. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah, Dredin Sorensen, outstanding back. He's got some pace. He actually doesn't look out of place in the forwards as a back row or a 13. I don't think you'll see him on the bench, but he's a confidence player. If things go well for him, he can certainly change the game. And he just needs to learn not to overplay his hand here because he's such a dynamic player, and they'll find him out pretty quick.
Mate, there's no substitute for speed. It's a God-given gift, and if you've got that, you've got a big advantage and a big weapon up your sleeve.
Most certainly. So good luck to Dredin on the weekend.
You'd know about that, John.
Oh, mate,
God-given gifts.
I am on the the purple lantern.
What?
You work it out. Google it. Back soon.
Cheers. Welcome back. We're joined by Colts Simon Pratt. Simon, welcome to Tigers Talk. Mate, you've had a long pre-season. We were talking with Gliddon a little earlier. How have you handled that, especially in the heat, mate?
Yeah, you're right. We've had a very long pre-season this year. We started back on the 14th of November, actually. It was a hot one before Christmas, but it's been good. Boys worked hard and boys are ready to rip in this weekend.
14th of November, mate. Do you keep a diary on your training dates or something?
No, it's just been that long. I think that I just remember clear as day. I've been talking to a few of the boys there saying, geez, it's been a long pre-season, and that date stuck to my head. Yeah.
It's actually Prince Charles's birthday too, by the way.
Well, there you go.
14th of November.
14th of November.
You're wondering how I know that?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am sure because my daughter was born on the 16th. We were really worried she was going to fall on the birthday the same day as Biggie. So there you go. But anyway, hey, listen, that's a long time. And the other thing too, Simon, it's been a damn hot summer. How hard has it been? It's got to be the warmest summer I think I can feel. I am getting old, but how did you handle those conditions?
Yeah, they were pretty challenging, I must say. Going to training and in the heat, you already got enough head noise as it is, pre-season and whatnot. But the heat just adds a lot more to it. So it was tough.
I believe it was a tough pre-season as well as being just a tough the heat wise. Yeah. So how's your fitness, mate? How do you think? What shape are you in?
I'm feeling pretty confident with how I'm going. The match fitness is always a test sort of thing. Having a couple of trial games probably a month ago now has probably we probably could have done for one more before the round one. But other than that, I think I'm feeling okay. So ready to go, I think.
So, have you had any games in the BRL at the moment?
No, I haven't. They've haven't been playing. Yeah, yep.
All right, so you just can't wait to get out there and get some footy on your hands.
Yeah, I can't wait. Round 1 against the Clydesdale, so it'll be an interesting test, for us as well as a squad. We're probably a pretty different squad to last year. A few new faces in the team, so it'll definitely be a challenge for us. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be okay.
Why do I get the feeling that we're going to have trouble with you guys all wanting the football in the first 5 or 10 minutes? So you're going to be jostling for positions, obviously, but you need to actually keep your head and remember where you are.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's 20s football for you. I reckon. A bit of probably lack of experience in there as well. But yeah, it'll all settle as time comes by. I'm sure.
From talking to Gliddon a little earlier as well, there's a number of yous that have played last year as well, so that's got to help with your combinations and hitting the ground running, I suppose.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. We there's a few of us still in the team that have played last year and the year before that as well. So there's a couple there with a bit of experience prior to this season. But it'll be good to see what the boys are like that haven't actually played in the Colts system yet. So yeah, looking forward to it.
It's clear they changed it up a little bit. This is his 3rd year as a Colts coach, but has he changed it up a little bit here? Obviously, the season's starting a little bit later. You guys started a couple of weeks later than Cup, but has he changed it up? Has he brought anything different to the thing? Has he actually, does he like brush his teeth for a change or something like that? What has he done? Anything different?
Gliddo's much the same. I think he's as he gets older. I don't think he really wants to change too much. He's been good, Gliddo. He's looked after the boys. We've had a couple of nights off here and there on a Friday night especially, and looked after us in that regard. But nothing's changed too much in talking about the pre-season and whatnot. But he's been good for us.
What are you looking? What do you think is going to happen with the Clydesdales when they come down? Like obviously from the country, they'll be pretty keen. They're in the comp again.
I think they'll be coming from the country. They're always a tough team to come up against, especially round 1. But I think them having a cup side this year now is going to be a lot stronger for their club overall, because then they'll be able to have players there they've haven't had before that have done pre-season with cup, and then they come back down to 20s, they offer a little bit more than probably what they have in the past. So it'll be a real test this weekend.
Good chance with the Melbourne Cup Grand Final in between Colts and Cup. That most of the Cup players, I certainly hope they all turn out. They'll be able to watch the whole game of you guys. So that'd be nice to have those guys who you have opposing sessions with on the sideline as well here at Totally Workwear Stadium, whereby you can really draw on their energy as well, because they'll obviously be excited to see how you guys go against the Clydesdales.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Having those boys there and around the club has been really good for everyone, especially myself doing a cup pre-season this year. Being in and around them and making good friendships with the boys and the coaching staff up there has really helped, and it'd be good to see them there at the game watching on. So yeah.
You mentioned the pre-season with the Cup guys as well. Obviously, you've been around now for a few years in the system. What's your ambitions going forward? Obviously, looking to get up into that Cup squad eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, hopefully. It'd be good to try and get a game or two this season. It all starts back in the 20s though, and I've got to work hard there and earn my spot in the 20s team first, and then work on from there to sort of hopefully, move on up a grade.
All right, mate. Well, listen, there's obviously going to be a lot of travelling. Clydesdales are going to come down on the bus here, but if you've got to do any travelling in the bus here, is there a particular Colt you've already singled out you don't want to sit next to on the bus yet?
Yeah, this bloke's been around a little bit as well, and you've probably heard of him, Jordan Penquet. He's an absolute pest. He's I couldn't stand sit next to him on the bus. I'd rather sit up the front next to Roscoe. Actually,
is he like the whole Wet Willie sort of thing on the bus, that sort of thing? And,
bit more intense than that. That's actually not too bad. I'd cop that.
Really?
Yeah. He's a bit loose. So
real mess. Any chance you can go underneath with all the bags?
I think the seat's a bit tight these days for myself, but it's certainly one that I've looked at it.
I was going to say pull up at the rest area and leave him behind.
Mate, we've tried plenty of times, don't you worry. Up in Townsville, Cairns, we've tried, but keep him up north. But
bad smell, Keeps coming back.
Yeah, that's it.
Never give up, Tom. Never give up, mate. No. But listen, it's been a long pre-season. You can't wait to get out there. It's 11 o'clock. It's an early start here. So, good luck. Obviously, you've got to go to bed a little bit early on Friday night, but straight after TV game. But look, you're looking fit, you're looking well, you're looking keen. And look, I'm going to go out early and say you'll get off the nudie run game 1. And by season end, I think you'll be figuring highly in the Player of the Year award. So don't let me down, mate.
No, well, let's hope so. Fingers crossed, eh? We'll see how we go.
No pressure, John. Eh?
No,
that's it. Just heap it on.
Guess you'll be knocking people out of the way, trying to get the footy first up here. Just get off that nudie run.
Just to get off the nudie run, as you said.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Good luck for the Tigers on the weekend. And look, Gliddon won't change anything because at halftime you're behind. Wow.
Look out.
Yeah, look. You don't want to be there.
Jordan won't be in there either.
You don't want to be a spider on the wall there.
No, all right. Cheers, mate.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.
All right, Mal. He's certainly a well-spoken young man here, but words go out the window. It's all about action on the weekend, mate. It's going to be exciting. 11 o'clock start. Look, the stadium looks great. We're just looking outside the window here, as you can see on the screen there. It's green. It looks like Augusta. Can't wait.
It's beautiful, mate. New facilities as well. So if you're out there and you're a Tigers fan, please get down to the game because they need all the support they can get. And it's a great viewing ground now as well, and beautiful facilities. All
right, the BMD girls, they've really got to win their last 2 games. They're going to go up to take on the Capras. Won't be easy. The premiers from last year as well. So they've been doing it tough lately. So hopefully they can go on the road there and bring home a couple of wins at the back end. They're not out of it. They may need a couple of results to go their way, but Adrian Vowles won't look at it that way. He just wants to win, and he wants to win strongly. So if you can, if you're up that way, or you can jump on Q Plus, check out what the girls are doing and see how they go. Beautiful.
Good. Yep.
All right, mate. Good luck on the weekend. And you're not going to. I heard about your shenanigans on the weekend, mate. Can we see a repeat of that?
Good luck to me on the weekend, mate. I'm not playing.
Oh, no. Well, maybe you should, and then you wouldn't get in as much trouble.
I got in no trouble.
When's your reunion?
The reunion's pretty much coming into focus now. So 10th of June, down here against the Redcliffe Dolphins, which is, as I mentioned sometime earlier, was the side that we beat in the 83 grand final. So 40-year reunion.
You got them all the boys?
Yeah, pretty much. I've still got a few stragglers, and they know who they are because I've been up their ribs, as usual. But they are footy players, and so they are a little bit tardy in responding to queries and so forth. So I'll get them.
Have you got to wear your kit from back in the 83 days? That's going to look like a rubber man on a sausage, some of those outfits.
The jerseys, fair income, they were about 4 sizes too big for everybody, not just me, but they were. It's just they're not the skin tight things that they are these days. Thank heavens, because we probably weren't as fit as these guys these days. So it shows off their ripples and their muscles.
Exactly
and everything.
right.
So we didn't have that.
Yeah, those tight jerseys look like a plastic bag full of sweet potatoes. So anyway, good to talk to you again, mate. Good luck on the weekend for the Tigers in all 3, and we'll be back again with Tigers Talk next week from live here from Totally Workwear Stadium. See you then.
Absolutely. Cheers, mate. Bye.